Hey guys, remember how I was talking about tier 2 and tier 3 orgs often are very scummy and not worth your time? There's some really good ones out there, and there's a lot of really scummy ones. And here is a really scummy tier 2/tier 3 org. What's tier 2 or tier 3? These are like lower tier esports orgs. You know, tier 1, you have your C9, you have your Sentinels. Tier 2 orgs, I would say, are orgs that compete in tier 2 leagues, so like NACL for league. I think Valorant has like a second tier league, something like that. And then tier 3 orgs are like content orgs, typically made by like one dude. So this was tweeted out by Heartless Days. Thread with receipts. One of the owners kicked me from Hype Unit because I'm openly lesbian. I would highly suggest blocking this individual if you're LGBTQIA+. The user is Magix. He openly used the R slur and sexualizes LGBTQIA+ as a whole and claims we sexualize children. So this is DMs from Magix. Magix says, I personally do not care, not even straight myself, but you gotta take anything to do with sexuality out of your bio. Heartless says, why? Gamers equals children audiences. Do not want my brand to be involved with anything to do with sexual anything. Sexual anything. So Heartless says, my identity expression has nothing to do with what I do in the bedroom. Completely true. And then Magic says it literally does. And Heartless says, I'm an advocate for LGBTQIA things. And Magic says, and the fact that you've been brainwashed to believe otherwise may indicate to me that it's time for us to part ways because that is just not true. Everyone else we have spoken to about it agreed. So is he implying that he spoke to other people at the org and they all agreed that you cannot be openly gay to be part of this org? Question mark. So more screenshots. That's like sexualizing every straight person. It's weird. Magic says, I don't have any research I need to do. I'm quite literally qualified as a scientific researcher in biology, and botany. So if anything, you need to do some fucking research, love. Your internet articles don't trump actual fucking science. It's backed by the science community though, and medical professionals. Literal gay animals exist in nature. Magic says, there are 0 long-term studies supporting anything right now. I'm not claiming gay people shouldn't exist. Huh? Heartless says that's completely false. Magic says it literally is. There are 0 research articles going past 10 years. You're lost as fuck. Please leave chat. Heartless says, do you want me to grab sources? Magic says, you have a lot of life to live. Listen, if you don't get it, you don't get it. So Heartless says, wait, so if you're also not straight, why do you think like this? I have to know where the internalized homophobia is stemming from. Magic says, listen, this conversation is over. Don't have time for brain dead people that can't understand how the world works. I was gonna put it out here for Magix. I have a biology degree from UC Berkeley. I graduated in 3 years. So I did my speedy college stint. The whole there are no gay people in science and science can't prove gay people is the stupidest argument I have ever heard in my entire life. And anybody with a biology degree that is legitimate would know that plenty of, well, gay stuff isn't the correct term. Plenty of non-heteronormative conforming stuff happens in the animal kingdom, okay? There are little animals that can change sexes. There are like creatures that can impregnate themselves, like self-semination. Male seahorses carry the baby. Legitimately, anybody with a gleam of a biology degree can see that the notion of the strict male and female sex is something that is imposed on humans by humans. Because in the animal world and in like the rest of creatures, I'm gonna use creatures. I'm including like insects and stuff in this too, so that's not just like strictly animals. And I have a legitimate bio degree that I can prove, by the way. So the whole science doesn't prove it is a really stupid argument. Heartless says, have fun reading and educating yourself. Magic says, not reading something written by a mongoloid. Heartless says, I can give you PubMed studies too. Magic says, take it out of your bio or move on. Very simple. PubMed is insane to reference, and also the APA is literally one of the most corrupt associations in the NA region. You are so lost. Heartless says, it's literally where medical people get their studies and do research as a credible source. Magic says it isn't, but okay, it is. Jordan Peterson is the only source of information on the topic I trust because he isn't receiving private funding. Have a good time. So basically, they're arguing back and forth about whether scientific journals are legitimate. Magic says, if you want to confuse kids and talk about your sexuality on your platform, you do that, but not in Hype as one of our creators. Welcome to chill in the comm chat, but nothing we can do to help you in the way of deals or sponsorship or badge options. Other than good luck, have a good day. I agree. It's a parent's responsibility to police what content their children is consuming online. Or I also want to clarify, I do not subscribe to the notion that LGBTQIA+ content is sexual content that would like brainwash kids. I don't subscribe to that notion either. But if we're truly putting it on a neutral term, right? Between people like Magic, truly, if your biggest concern is your kids being exposed to gay people, which they will eventually, I don't know what to tell you, it will happen. You, as a parent, can monitor your child's content intake. It's not up to policing all the gay people to what, not be gay, so your worldview is what you want it to look like. That's dumb. I'm so confused too because Magic says that he's not straight. So why are you so homophobic? I'm so confused. Here's more screenshots arguing about science. Go watch Jordan Peterson speak about it. I actually don't know who this Jordan Peterson person is. I feel like it's a good thing I don't know. Jordan Peterson's a really right-wing person. Oh, that's probably why I don't know who he is then. So now they're once again arguing over like what scientific journals and studies are legitimate, with Magic's constantly defending Jordan Peterson. Oh, he's using the R word. Okay, I also think it's really gross. Isn't this person a higher up at the esports org? Why are they screaming essentially at one of their talent or one of their creators in DMs? I think Magic thinks he's really smart, but I think Magic's is actually quite stupid. Because if you're arguing that being lesbian is a sexual preference, then being straight is also a sexual preference. It's a two-way road. If you're gonna argue being homosexual is a sexual preference, then you also have to stand on the line that being heterosexual is also a sexual preference. So it's a two-way street if you're gonna make this argument. And he's transphobic. Oh my God. Yeah, and mutilating your sex organs in the name of your emotional vanity is not something I support. Sorry. So Magix is saying that they don't support trans people. Oh, you dropped the R word again. Have a good day. And then he blocked it to Twitter Blue users only. Then we have other people talking about their experiences. I got kicked once because I was inactive when my mom got diagnosed with cancer. This is from Untamed. Is this number 9, 10? And during Pride Month too, by the way. During Pride Month is crazy. So this is the person. Their handle is Magix, and their whole page is Web3, which I think this tells you all you need to know already. It's all NFTs and whatever this monkey bucket hat thing is. This is another example of this person's take. Web3 gaming may be inevitable, but what's also inevitable is you mediocre gatekeeping leech creators that don't actually have a clue what they are speaking about or come from core gaming culture. The people that are guardians of the barrier to entry in the Web3 creator space are in for a rude awakening this year. I think this goes to show this person's personality. So anyways, this is the org in question. This is the org that person worked for that was trying to get Heartless to take the fact that they're lesbian out of their bio. Hype Unit, gaming community of creators that hashtag bring the hype, Web3/crypto gaming, home for degens and creators. Then we have this tweet from Hype Trip. After meeting with iCrazy Teddy and recent events, we would like to state that we do not condone or support any of the recent actions from Magix. These actions were his alone. We have removed Magix completely from Hype and removed them from their interim co-owner role and stake in the brand. They were a co-owner? We support and love everyone. I'd like to apologize to Heartless Days, the LGBTQIA+ community, and everyone else that has been directly affected. Please reach out to me. I want to make things right. I'm extremely disappointed and frustrated with how this situation was handled. This does not align with our values or how we've built our community. And this person that made the tweet is the CMO and founder and co-owner. I'm just gonna say though, let's go back to what Heartless tweeted. In their DMs, Magic said, everyone else we have spoken to about it agreed. Referring to this, gamers equal children audiences and they do not want their brand to be involved with anything sexual, implying that being LGBTQIA+ is a sexual thing that would affect children. Everyone else who have spoken to about it agreed. Who have you spoken to about this, Magic? Who? Other people at the org, perhaps? Other people that worked at the org? Because this is in context to Heartless being a creator having to take it out. So Magix would have to speak to probably other people who work for their org to talk about this. So other people at the org agreed and condoned making Heartless take the fact that they're gay out of their bio, which then, because they refused, resulted in Heartless getting kicked for being gay. That's literally what happened. You have tweets like this from AKA Oster. So we talked about an org that's saying gays sexualize children and don't want them targeting their community of children, but promoting speculative investments to children is okay. Make it make sense. And again, they are a Web3 and crypto gaming org. Oh, and by the way, this was Magic's bio before he changed it. Dude said he could promote NFTs, weed, and gambling to kids, but you better not say you're a lesbian. Owner of Hype Unit, NFT holder, literally has cannabis written in his bio. If you're gonna go to bat for one, you have to go to bat for all. I'm just saying, okay? I do not agree with the concept that gays sexualize children. I do not agree with that. But if you truly are in line with that line of thinking, if you truly are so far off the ledge that you think that's true, shouldn't you think that promoting cannabis to children is also not good? Shouldn't you think that promoting crypto to children is not good? If you're truly so far off the ledge of wanting to protect the kids, that's somehow your sentiment. You can't open the twit longer. This guy made like a big thread and so did their friends. But basically, we can't access these twit longers, but TLDR, Hype Unit has been a shitty org for a long time. They have this person who said, was in a Discord call with freshies one night and that MF started throwing out the hard R slur. Shoji VT has these screenshots. I'm trying to start a Cards Against Humanity series on my channel looking for players. You down? How many? I'm not even gonna say say that? Do we have the way they're using this to refer to people? Like, how many people do you have playing? Here's my Discord. You mean, this just feels really bad to say. I don't even want to say this out loud. They're basically using the term autism in a really, really bad implication. And then we have somebody like Deblip saying, I mean, one of the owners blackmailed me, which has been publicly dealt with, and sent me to therapy. The other two have always rubbed me the wrong way. Where Cheetah said that they also felt blackmailed to say no wrong from them. Management made it clear the connections they had and they could blacklist creators from orgs. Even WestJet said not very hype of the unit. And again, WestJet is normally on the other side of things. So yeah, we again can't access the rest of these twitlongers, but we have a lot of people saying that hype is a shit org, which they are. At the end of the day, here's my advice to you guys. You don't need to be an esports org to succeed as a content creator. In fact, I find that most of the time, being in an esports org as a creator causes you more harm than good. I've elaborated on why this is the case many times, but I'll give you guys a quick rundown real quick in case you guys don't know. The only hype that you get as being part of an esports org is by being announced. That is the only hype that you get from being signed to an esports org, basically. Beyond that, the org can't really give you anything. They don't give you exposure. You may think you're getting exposure. You will not. You will not get sponsored deals because most of these tier 2 and tier 3 orgs only have affiliate deals that you could have gotten yourself. By the way, if you sign to an esports org and they do have sponsors, typically all of their creators are locked in exclusivity to their sponsors. As in, if they have an energy drink sponsor like Red Bull, you will get the Red Bull sponsorship, but you don't get anything else. You cannot work with any other competitive company, any other energy drink supplement like G Fuel, because now you will be in conflict with Red Bull. So if you get paid a salary, it could potentially be worth it if you yourself don't have any sponsorship deals. But trust me, guys, as a content creator, you can make so much more money getting these sponsorship deals yourself. A lot of content creators, I'm going to be blunt here, want to get signed to an esports org because you are lazy. You don't want to put in the work to then find sponsors yourself and negotiate the deals yourself, because trust me, it is really hard to do. So you think it's like a end all be all solution to join an esports org and then get them to pay you a monthly salary. It is not the end all be all. You don't really get that much job security from it because you can get kicked at any time. You get locked into their sponsors. You get forced to do like sponsor posts for them, which is like included in your salary. This is again if you get paid a salary, because these tier 2, tier 3 orgs typically don't pay salaries. If you join one of the orgs that don't even pay a salary, you get nothing, and they get your name to leverage and throw around. Keep in mind, truly joining an esports org is really, unless it's a tier 1 org, it's really not going to do much for you as a creator. I'm not saying this to hate on tier 2, tier 3 orgs. Like, there's a lot that I like that I know does a lot for the space, but I'm just going to be honest. You don't get the exposure you think you do from being part of an org. And sometimes it can do a lot more harm than good, like in this case.